So perfect competition is a market structure with many firms, freedom of entry and exit, and the firms produce a homogeneous product. So if we take the overall industry, on the right we can see a typical supply and demand curve for the industry, and this sets the market price of P1. Now the important thing is that an individual firm is what we call a price taker, because if they tried to sell a higher price, of course nobody would buy from it, because you can get cheaper elsewhere and there's perfect information. So the demand curve for a firm is perfectly elastic, and this means that the demand curve is the same as the average revenue and also the marginal revenue. Now if we draw a marginal cost curve on, we can work out their profit maximizing output. Profit maximization occurs where MR equals MC, which is at Q1. And just for the moment, I'm going to draw an average cost curve here to show the level of normal profits in a usual perfect competition in the long run. Now what would happen if there was an increase in demand in the industry? It would lead to a higher market price, and so therefore the firm's individual demand curve would shift upwards, and they'd be able to sell at a higher price. So now their profit maximizing output is where MR equals MC, which will be here. And now they are making a situation of supernormal profits, because now the average revenue is greater than the average cost. So at least in the short term, firms in perfect competition can make supernormal profits. But what happens next? Well, there's perfect information, so people know the industry is profitable, and there's no barriers to entry or exit. So new firms enter, and this shifts the supply curve to the right until the price returns to the equilibrium. And there we retain the long-run equilibrium. And here, firms are allocatively efficient because the price equals marginal cost. They're also productively efficient because it's the lowest point on the average cost curve, and they make normal profits, AR equals AC.